How's it going, everyone? So this is the second week in a row that we've had to do a reaction video. This will be our fifth reaction video that we've had to do so far this semester, and after this one, looks like we only have one more left, so we're getting close to the end. But this one was definitely one of the more interesting ones, in my opinion. It's titled "What If You Were an Immigrant" by Ben Ha. So, Ben-Hur starts off by explaining how he came to the United States when he was 14 years old. Um, and because he was 14, he was still able to kind of understand both um, his immigrant culture, his home culture where he came from, and also the American culture, or the new culture that he's trying to adapt. So he says that if he was born at 10 or came here and to the United States when he was 10 or 21, he might not be able to understand both cultures, but he says he came right at the perfect time. So um, he then goes into explaining how um, many Americans or immigrants that come to America sort of live in poverty, but others don't. He says that a century ago, immigration was affected by acts of nature, meaning that it was tough to get here by boat because what if something happened to the boat? Or he explained like maybe people would run out of water. It was just risky to come here. But now that it's so easy to go from country to country across the world, today immigration is caused by man and man's policies. So the policies that are created by leaders in other countries might cause the citizens of that country to want to leave and come to the United States or migrate to some other country. But he then makes what I thought was a pretty controversial comment when he says that most people in this country will admit that we are all immigrants and that the nation was founded on the idea of immigration. But he says most people in this country are also concerned today about letting immigrants in. And the way I always kind of looked at it was like, it's never been an issue with letting immigrants in who take the time to become legal citizens and become documented. It becomes an issue when the idea of letting anybody come into our country at free will, that's what I think many Americans still struggle with, the idea of that, just because, yeah, there are good and bad Americans. People in this country do good things and people in this country do bad things. I mean, in the last decade alone, the amount of acts of terror against our country, both caused by American citizens and also some are caused by immigrants, many times illegal immigrants that are coming into our country. So when he says that people are concerned about letting immigrants in today, yeah, that's true, but it's also we want to make sure that we're letting good people into our country who are going to help grow our country and make our country better. I don't think it's an issue with just the fact that they're an immigrant. I don't personally. He then goes on to say that maybe we don't like to see the people outside our borders as people, which is ridiculous because I keep up with current events in the news. Like I know that people in other countries struggle, whether it be with their leaders are causing them to struggle or natural disaster. Like people, it doesn't matter where you are from, what country you're from. People are people. Like we all have souls. We all have hearts. Like that. I just thought that was, I don't know, kind of an ignorant comment. Um, Personally, because I don't understand how we don't see people from other countries as people. That just doesn't sit right with me. And then his next comment was maybe we believe that only certain people like me should be let into this country. Really, Ben? It's never been about, especially for people most people, most American citizens today, it's never been about what color they are or which country they come from, whether it be from Mexico or whether it be from Europe. It's not about that. It's about making sure that we try to keep our country as safe as possible from terrorists or just plain in general terrorists. We're tired of seeing people come into our country illegally, bringing drugs that are killing Americans. 70,000 Americans a year are dying from drugs that are being illegally brought into this country. We, as a nation, we want to see those numbers go down. It's not about you being from a different country. It's about, one, making sure you come here legally, and two, making sure that you're a good person. It's plain and simple. He brings up, 100, 200-year-old laws that explain why America didn't want immigrants from certain countries at certain times, which I get it, maybe in the past, like we didn't have the best immigration laws or immigration tactics, and maybe we don't today, but it's not about, especially for me, it's not about where people are coming from or what color they are or, what gender they are. It's about making sure people are good people and they're documented and they're paying taxes like everybody else in the country who's a legal citizen. I understand, so personally, I see how Ben had a rough start when he and his family moved to the country. He explains that they started off as janitors for an office building, and they made $2,000 a month, and that would be tough. But I personally believe that if you're gonna plan to move from a different country to another country, you have to be ready as soon as you move. You have to have jobs lined up. You have to make sure that you're gonna make money to provide for your family. I wouldn't expect to move to China or a country in Africa and expect to just do well right away because I don't know anything about their culture. I don't have a job lined up. It's you can't move somewhere and somewhere new, a different country especially, and expect everything to just work out right away. You have to work at it. You have to work hard to make it to where you want to be in life. It's not like you can just move to a different country and expect everything to fall in your lap. But personally, I've lived in more than one state in my lifetime, so I've gotten the opportunity to live near some bigger cities for a couple of years, so I've been able to meet immigrants that have come from all over the world, and I can even call some of them my closest friends just because they're great people. They have great culture, and they just offer something new. But at the same time, they all tell me that, yeah, it wasn't always easy moving from their home to America, but everyone that I talked to, they did it the right way, became legal, and now, some of them are very wealthy that they're never going to have to worry about money again or issues like that. But trying to come into the country illegally isn't going to solve anyone's problems, and it's only going to make things worse for the immigrant and their families. But that's just my take on the video. I liked that this video gave more of a debate side. Ben gave his point, and now we get to just add on to that with what we think. So I'm interested in seeing what everyone else had to say about it, and I hope you all have a great week.